Hey, how's it going? Right, so this isn't the sexiest topic of all to talk about, but it is the most important when it comes to being fit and healthy. Most people think it would be like exercise or nutrition. Obviously, those things are super important, but they have to be built on a solid foundation, and that foundation is sleep. Like I said, that doesn't sound very sexy, but it's true. It is true. Like, sleep is a fundamental process. Without sleep, we die. You can live for quite some time without food or water. If you don't have sleep at all, you're fucked. So, I mean, I could do a whole coaching program on sleep alone. There's so much to talk about. It's a fundamental aspect of well-being, and it's one of the most disturbed areas, I would say, for people that struggle not only with weight loss and fitness, but with their mindset and mental health as well. So I honestly can't stress how important sleep is. Like I said, I could do a whole course on sleep alone, to be honest. Now, most people have some trouble sleeping, and most of us can't go from 0 to 100 miles an hour in the morning to get up and going. And it's the same for when you go to sleep as well. So when you go to bed, you shouldn't just get straight into bed after a busy day or something like that. You need time to actually wind down. You need part of like a sleep routine or a sleep ritual to get into. So you definitely need to find ways to wind down and start relaxing around about an hour or half an hour before you go to bed. That would be optimum. So, like I said, sleep is absolutely fundamental. It's crucial. It is the foundation on that everything else is built on. I don't see enough trainers or coaches talking about this kind of thing, but it is absolutely crucial. Again, I can't stress this enough. I just sound like a bloody broken old record, but it's so true. So I'll give you an example. When you look at prime ministers or presidents that have got into power, and you see them when they start their new job, and they look all right, I suppose, but when they come out, they look fucked. They look absolutely fucked once they've finished, and it's because they are basically running on a few hours sleep every night. And you might know people like that too, where you see that they've only had a few hours sleep for some time, and you'll see in their physical appearance, their skin, their mood will be terrible, their diet will be terrible, because again, a low mood feeds into absolutely everything that we do. So we don't want that. We don't want that. We want to make sure that you've got that solid foundation in place. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get to it. So, what is a good night's sleep? Well, think about it this way as well. What's a bad night's sleep? You know when you've had a shit night's sleep, and you know how crabby and crappy you feel after that. So hopefully you know what it feels like to have had a good night's sleep, and you feel rested and you feel energised. You feel refreshed. You feel like you're ready to take on the world. It is possible to have too much sleep. You can lay in bed and have a lay in, whatever that is, have a lay in, and go back to sleep, and you wake up and you feel really groggy and crappy, and that's because you can have too much sleep. So you can have too much of a good thing. Okay, so I want to talk about 5 things that kill sleep, and they all begin with S, funnily enough. The 5 S's are, in no particular order, but stress is a big one. So In fact, chronic cumulative stress, that low level stress that pretty much everyone feels, is the root cause for pretty much all physical and mental health problems. 100%. Dealing with stress, not being resilient enough to bounce back, that is a huge problem for when you're trying to go to sleep and trying to optimise your sleep. The second one is screens, which I'm surrounded by at the moment. Probably not a good thing, but screens, so like your phone, your tablet, TV, computer, all that stuff kills sleep. So you want to try and minimise the amount of time that you're on them during the day. Stimulants, again, it's obvious, isn't it, I guess, but like, coffee, for example, caffeine is a stimulant. It stops you from feeling tired. It doesn't give you energy like people think, that coffee it's simply stopping you from feeling tired at the end of the day. Substances, so that could be drugs, illegal and prescribed ones, they can mess with your sleep. But one of the biggest factors, in fact, it makes up roughly about 50% of sleep deprivation cases, and that is sitting on your ass, sedentary lifestyle, not exercising. So people not getting out in sunlight, not moving around, that makes up 50% of sleep deprivation cases, or up to 50%. Now, let's talk about what we can do. So it's probably going to take at least 1 to 2 weeks of trying these things out. Maybe it could even take up to like 3 months, 6 weeks, maybe even 3 months for some people. It just is what it is, just to optimise the sleep and get into a really good routine. So what is optimum sleep? So optimum sleep, or an optimised time for sleep, is 7 to 9 hours uninterrupted, good quality sleep, restorative sleep. So the benefits of getting those 7 to 9 hours sleep are, well, for fitness stuff and health in general, it's going to speed up your metabolism. It will help speed up your metabolism. It will lower cortisol, which is the stress hormone. You may have heard of that. So everyone has jacked up cortisol levels. Well, if you're sleeping optimally, that will help lower your stress hormones. Speaking of hormones, it will boost your testosterone as well. Yay, that's what you want. Because once you've got your T levels are sorted out, everything becomes a lot easier. Things like burning fat, for example, during exercise. If you get good sleep, it lowers your hunger. I don't know if you've noticed that when you don't sleep properly, you tend to be more hungry, and then of course you don't make very good food choices when you're in a tired or in a shit mood. So it lowers our hunger. It really just does set us up, doesn't it, for like performing better the next day. And the cumulative effects of that are obviously, if you start having good days, you start having good weeks. You start having good weeks, you start having good months. You start having good months, you start having good years. So that's what we want. And speaking of years, it will slow down the aging process, like I was talking about earlier with the prime ministers and stuff. Yeah, you don't want to look like that. You don't want to look old and haggard way before your time. So, time. Reminded myself there. Speaking of time, make sure that you go to bed regularly at roughly the same time every day. Work backwards if you have to. So if you know you've got to get up at a certain time, make sure that you're definitely at least in bed 7 to 9 hours before that. Studies have shown as well that time, as in the time that you go to bed, matters. So not just getting 7 to 9 hours sleep, but the actual time when you go to bed. So let's say 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. if you have to get up at like 5 in the morning or something. You want to go to bed at around 9, 10 p.m. Doesn't sound very sexy, does it, saying I'm part of the 10 p.m. club? It sounds cool saying, I get up at 5 or get up at 6, It's not as cool to say I go to bed at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. So studies have shown that this boosts our metabolism, it boosts our recovery, and it certainly boosts the testosterone levels as well. So when you're going to sleep as well, we're not really going to talk about like taking sleeping pills or medication or anything like that at all, because you're already doing the best sleeping pill of all. You're already taking it because you're exercising. If you're doing regular exercise, that is the best sleeping pill you can take. If you're getting out in the sunlight and exposing your skin to the elements, that's one of the best sleeping pills you can ever take. So you're getting ready for bed. You think you're going for your evening, so you want to try to eat your last meal roughly 2 to 3 hours before bed, and obviously don't drink too much liquid before you go to bed, because you'll just need a piss in the night. Empty your bladder as well would be a safe bet, so make sure you have a wee before you actually get in bed. Do a dump as well, and I don't mean a poo, I mean a brain dump. If you've got stuff on your mind, I haven't got one handy, but get yourself a notepad and a pen. Just write that shit out. Just whatever's bugging you, whatever's on your mind, just write it out. Do a journal, do a diary, talk about like what's happened during that day. That's so underrated. Like blokes especially do not do that enough. That is so important. So do a brain dump, get everything out of your head. Talk about your day, write about your day. Talk into your phone if you have to. It doesn't matter. Just something to get it out of here, so that you can clear the decks for a good night's sleep. What else? So yeah, in the room itself, in your bedroom, try not to have too much like clutter and like bits and bobs and clothes and all that lying around all over the show, because it's just going to put you off. You want a nice, clean, tidy bedroom, somewhere where you're not going to sort of get distracted looking at stuff or start tidying up stuff when you should be going to bed. So tidy it up in advance, have it all nice and clean in there, get in bed, make sure that it's a good temperature in there as well. So optimally you want between 50 to 20 degrees C, or lower if you can hack it. You want it nice and cool in there, because you have your sheets on, you have your covers on, and that, so you're not going to feel cold. It's better to be a bit cold in bed than it is to be too warm. And lots of guys I've spoken to have said the same, that they really they don't mind going to bed when it's cold and snuggling up. Sounds a bit girly, doesn't it? Snuggling up, but it's easier to fall asleep when you're a bit cooler. So there's that. Next, electronic devices, TV, screens, all that stuff, shut it off about half an hour before you go to bed, before you go to sleep. Try not to take your phone and all that. I know, so I do it as well. Like I'm a complete fucking hypocrite, because I still do it. I take my phone to the bedroom, and occasionally I'll take my iPad or my tablet into the bedroom. Don't do that. Unless you're using it for an app or listening to like music or a podcast or something when you're going to sleep. If you can avoid it, don't even have it in your bedroom. If you use it as your alarm in the morning, buy an alarm clock, buy something else that's not going to emit blue light, because that is what one of the S's that's going to keep you awake. It's going to cut down melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone that obviously helps you sleep. So we don't want to do that. Read a book instead, or do some writing or something. You can do some stretching. Nothing too like strenuous. You don't want to pump your heart rate up before you go to bed. Have a nice warm bath or a warm shower. Perhaps put on some white noise if there's a fan or something. Or you're going to get apps that have got like rain sounds and all that kind of stuff or something. But again, ideally, don't have your phone in the bedroom. Because you want a totally dark room anyway. If you have to, wear an eye mask or blackout blinds if your room's not dark, it's because it's not just the light hitting your eyes, it's the light hitting your skin as well. That can wake you up. Think of your room as a cave. Going back to good old caveman days. Your cave would have been cool. It would have been pitch black probably, and you wouldn't have had electronic devices in there. Your bedroom is for two things: sleeping and shagging. That's it. That's what the only things you should be doing in your bedroom. Not looking at your phone or watching TV. Anyway, go through that list and hopefully you're nodding your head or shaking your head at some of them and going, oh, I could do that, or I shouldn't do that, or whatever. Let's talk about the good stuff. Let's talk about the positive effects of sleep, of a good night's restful sleep. So the main reason is to help us recover. It's rest and recovery, which is important. As I said earlier, you can get by with not much food or water, but you can't survive without sleep. It is imperative. You need to sleep. The positive effects: it's going to reduce stress. It's going to improve your mood. So that also affects things like mental health as well. Anxiety, depression, anything like that is going to be improved by a good night's sleep. It can't get any worse if you have a good night's sleep. Improved physical performance, improved mental performance, cognitive function, obviously, during your day job or whatever it is. When you're driving and stuff, your alertness, your reactions, just to things in general, not just driving, but judgment as well, that will all be improved. All cognitive function will be improved. A big thing is it will reduce inflammation. So again, if you're having problems with inflammation, joints, muscles, anything like that, it's just the best natural way to reduce inflammation is to get a good night's sleep. It improves your immune system function. So obviously, when you're poorly, you rest up, don't you? It's like enforced sleep. You have to have it. So it's going to improve your immune system function anyway, just by having a decent night's sleep. Removes toxins from your body. Helps with your hair. Didn't help me. Hair, skin, nails, everything like that will improve. Obviously, cardiovascular health. So your ticker, your lungs, and everything like that will greatly benefit from sleeping. Libido and fertility, if you're into that kind of thing, right? That will definitely be affected in a positive way if you get a good night's sleep. Losing weight, again, like I talked about earlier, it speeds up your metabolism. It's going to have a positive effect. And if you're sleeping, you're not eating. So that's not an excuse to stay in bed all day, by the way. I'm not giving you a carte blanche to just do that all day, lay around and not eat. It can, I've got to be careful what I say here, but it can help it may help in the prevention of certain diseases, Blood 3, for example, and it may disclaimer, it may reduce risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. There's a lot of studies that are going on into that. Speaking of studies, if you fancy a butcher's at some of the studies that I've been referencing, I will put them in the link. I will link you to all of those. Other than that's pretty much it, I would say. So go through that list of things. Ask yourself, am I doing this? Could I do this? Should I do this? If you're really struggling to sleep, the only supplementation I would recommend is you can take melatonin supplements. You can again, lavender is good. Like lavender oils or something in the bath. The best way though is to try and get into a good rhythm and a good routine with it. It really is. So making sure that you go to bed at roughly the same time every day and wake up the next morning at the same time, and obviously having a healthy lifestyle, which you are engaging in right now. Having a healthy lifestyle will definitely promote good sleep. It's the bedrock, it's the foundation of everything that we're going to build on, fitness wise, mindset wise, nutrition wise. It's all built on some good quality kit. Alright, take care, speak soon.